Hello and welcome back to the Brick Bulbasaur. Today we will be taking a look at McFarlane Toys. In case you don't know what that is, they're the company that makes the Lego Five Nights at Freddy's construction sets that you can commonly find at GameStop or on Amazon. You can't really find them anywhere else. So they make those, and I've got some here. They're pretty decent, but they have their pros and cons, which is what I'll be talking about today. So, in front of the camera here, I have the Parts and Service set, which is actually a very good set. It is from Wave 2, but they recently re-released it. As you can see, it looks really good. The door slides smoothly, and yeah, the only problem I have is you can't really see it here, but lots of the pieces, oh, right, it's on the other side. I put it on the inside. Lots of the pieces have spur marks on them, like there, and it just really bothers me. I wish they could not have those or put them in a way where you wouldn't see them in sets. And so, part of talking about them and their pros and cons is their good sets and their bad sets. So that was an example of a very good set that they've produced. An example of a bad set they've produced is the toy stage. This is the worst building experience I've ever had with anything. Oh, hi, Freddy. Let me just put him back in the machine. This is the worst building experience I've ever had with any construction set, whether that be Mega Constructs, Mega Blocks, Lego, anything. This was absolutely terrible to build. So, one of my main problems was just the piece quality. So, as you can see right here, these fall off super easily, and it's really annoying. This is actually broken because it only pushes in, so far on one side, and if it's pushed in that far, the other side won't push in. So I was trying to get it in, and it snapped, and then we glued it, and it snapped again. So that's just a poorly designed thing. Then over here at the claw machine, I don't like the color they used for the glass. It's foggy and doesn't look realistic. And these stickers suck to put on. Hold on, let me get this to focus a bit. There we go. Oh, yeah. So, now that's focused on this, this sticker did that thing that stickers do in, sticker books and stuff, where it peels off the back paper with it. That had to be glued on with a glue stick. I believe this pizza slice also had to. Same thing with the pizza. Around the back of the set, hold on a second, it looks not that bad, but just the set in general. This piece, this yellow and red balloon, I believe that, yeah, it was actually missing from my set, which there's no way to get replacement parts from McFarlane, which just sucks because there's nothing I could do about it. It just had to be missing. And this is torn off of another set, I believe, to have it there. Another piece was also missing from this one, which I cannot remember exactly which one it was, but the Parts and Service one just so happened to come with a spare of that piece, so I could fill it in here, and it wasn't missing it anymore. Then, one of my big problems with it is part reusage. Because, as you can see, there are scratches and bullet holes on the door, because they reuse it from their Call of Duty lineup of sets, which just does not work for Five Nights at Freddy's. Also, the tiles they used there look like they have mold on them, which doesn't look good. And then, you can see this is the broken piece. And here's what I wish they did. So, you know how Lego, say there's a picture of someone on a wall, they'll make it the Lego form of them? Here you can see these just do not match the figures whatsoever. Does it really look like them? especially in Toy Chica's case. Toy Bonnie looks pretty accurate, but yeah, I wish they did it with the brick-built forms instead of the actual in-game posters. It just looks weird. And speaking of the figures, I'm moving this stage. The Toy Chica figure. The Cupcake's eye is a bit scratched, and so is the plate. I believe it came that way, which kind of sucked. And the lower jaw cannot open because it is so connected there and, like, stuck, because we actually had to cut it with an X-Acto knife to get it to fit into the head because of how they had done the mold, which was pretty poorly. Toy Bonnie, his fit without any modification, but it required a lot of force to put in. The only figure I didn't have a problem with was Toy Freddy, and that's because he's the one who came prepackaged. The prepackaged ones, like, always work perfect, look well, and yeah, just, I hate it when the camera won't focus. But anyway, let's take a look at some of the good things they've done before we go into some of the other not-so-good things. So whenever there is a prepackaged figure with the set, such as Mangle looks absolutely stunning. Like, this figure is so good. So, the same thing applies to characters like Withered Foxy, although this is one of the examples of them reusing molds, which they don't normally do, where they reuse the Phantom one. I also have a lot of other McFarlane figures, like, a lot. So, you can tell that I have a lot of sets from that. And I feel like they are just really nice, high-quality figures if you want some Five Nights at Freddy's merchandise. There's only one problem. So, they re-released the original wave because the figures from it were pretty desirable. And I don't blame them. These guys are just falling over like crazy. Okay. Also, if you hear any noise in the background, that's just because some work is being done on my house, so just ignore that. But they re-released the first wave, which was really nice because lots of people wanted those characters. But there was a problem. They have not re-released any of the other waves. So people like me, who Springtrap is my absolute favorite character, I'm not paying $300 for his set sealed. It's not worth it. And it's just really frustrating that they won't re-release some of the older waves, especially considering they re-released the parts and service one over here, and I believe another one just recently, actually. So they completely skipped over certain waves, and I just wish they would go back and redo some of them. So, going back to a set that is not the greatest, let me just grab it from over here, is the set that great Mangle figure came from. The vent repair. So, it should have little pipes right here. I took those off just to make it be able to fit on the camera. And this, as someone who has played FNAF VR, this looks very accurate to what you would see in the game. And, yeah, I even like how they have that effect back there. I do not like the scratch on it, but it's just like a clear piece of vinyl, that makes it look like there is a vent. The only problem with it is the surprise Mangle feature, which there's a little hole in there where you can put Mangle's head to make it look like they're sticking out, and it just is not easy to even get in there. There we go. I managed to get it, but the first time I had to completely tear this apart. Yet, there we go, it's already falling down. And the other thing is, I feel like it could have done without this, because they could have made it more structurally sound, like, especially around the back here. And instead of that stupid feature, since Mangle doesn't, like, pop the head out the side, they just come crawling straight down the vent. So, it's not even really accurate to the game. So, getting to a good set now, because I should probably talk about some of the good stuff they've done. Here is the West Hall. it has a piece back there, and it's missing a piece too. This one has been broken for a while, and I also shortened it down a bit so it could fit with my other sets. But this one's really good. It also had some TVs back there. Those kind of got in the way. I love how they give you the option to have a Golden Freddy poster or Freddy ripping his head off. But the problem with that is that you can only do one. And it makes you lose the other one. I actually have no clue where the other sticker is. But if we put Foxy here, here's the cool thing. You can have him run down the hallway. Actually, it should be the other way, shouldn't it? So let me just adjust that real quick. Hold on, Foxy's like completely falling apart on me. That's another thing about these figures. They fall apart easily. So you can just have him run down the hall. And something that is actually better than this than Lego is that it's easy to remove arms and legs, so you can actually make custom figures better. But something I don't like, again, is how stickers go over multiple pieces, because Lego doesn't do that, and I wish McFarlane didn't do it either. So another good set that we can take a look at is Circus Control. I got this one for my birthday, and it is really good. Sorry, the little gap there. This part pops off pretty easily. It was in a bin, so it's really like not connected, but it's a nice set. The sticker does go over multiple pieces, but is used well here. The sticker looks good, and the vinyl looks good. It's all accurate to the game. The only problem I have is the Circus Baby figure, which looks great. Hold on. I'll get to the problem that I'm having real quick. So the only problem with her, that beside the one I'm about to mention, that I was struggling with for a second, is that so you can see the top teeth and the bottom teeth, which looks very good. But if you're just looking at her, you can only see the bottom teeth, and that's just not a good look. See, there's the thing falling down because I didn't reconnect it. But just the bottom teeth, like just seeing those, makes it look like kind of dumb. And the big problem that I have is the feet are so easy to knock off. Also, the head falls off pretty easily just because it's doesn't have much of a pin connecting into it, which, yeah. And that's pretty much it for this one. But to the final one I'm going to mention. This is a very honorable mention because it has sacrificed itself to one of my bins. It got absolutely destroyed. I was not able to repair it for this video. The Scooping Room. The Scooping Room is the best set that I've ever produced by a long shot. It is just amazing how much effort they put into that one. So it looks nice already, and they even made special prints for all the animatronic parts to go in it. And the scooper function works really well. It's kind of a pain to build, though. But the Ennard figure, because most people buy these sets for the figures. And it's already a great thing for the build, which most of these, like, people won't buy them for the build, but that's a reason to. The Ennard figure in this one, the attention to detail is so good. Like, the feet and the arms, just, I think they're special molds to get the eyes in, and it just looks amazing. Same thing with this area, but the best thing about it, if you remove the hat, you can also remove it from the mask. He has his head underneath, so that he looks like when he doesn't have the mask. It's got all the details. It does look a bit like chunky, but that's because of the style that they use, and they had to have it like that. So I just love this figure. I think it's the best figure they've ever produced from the best set they've ever produced. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So, in the most recent waves, this is the last thing I'm going to talk about before I wrap this up. In the most recent waves, they have definitely been lowering on quality. I do not have this one on hand because I haven't purchased it yet, but I plan to in the future. The Molten Freddy set. You can look it up on Amazon, look it up pretty much anywhere. It is not good. So, the Molten Freddy in it reuses lots of parts from Ennard, like the arms. Which, I mean, I guess it's fine, but it just doesn't look that great. He also reuses parts from Yendo, which are not that accurate. But if you actually look at the figure, it's, like, not terrible, but yeah. The main problem that people have is the feet. Because instead of normal feet like the rest, or like a pile of wires that they could have made, they used, like, these kind of wiry feet to hang over the edge of the chair in the set to make him sit, which just look awful anywhere else, and he can't, like, actually go on display anywhere that's not the chair, which kind of sucks. So, basically, to conclude, there is a big difference in changes, well, a big difference in quality between some of their sets. Some are much better than others, but some just suck. And there's the same with the figures. Like, some of them look really accurate to the game, and some just don't. For example, Toy Chica versus Ennard here. And I just wish they had more consistency, because they have the opportunity to be great and make great sets. They have in the past. Like, some of their attention to detail is really nice. Like, even on this Freddy here, he's smoother than all the others because he's the VR version of Freddy. Oh, that just fell. Oh, well. See, if you compare the two, he looks much different because they're smooth in VR. I mean, this even looks great, even though it's just a screenshot taken from the game, and the sticker was really hard to apply, but otherwise, the attention to detail on these guys is so good. If they put that effort into all of their sets, I would buy, like, all of them. Also, my other problem I'm going to mention is just how they fall apart easily. And I know I just said that's the last problem I'm going to mention, but, and that they won't re-release sets, because I really want them to. And I feel like some of them would sell so well if they were re-released, because they would just be so popular. And that's pretty much all I have to say, except on one final note. If you go into Amazon and GameStop, go to some of the newer sets, such as the Plush Trap one, Molten Freddy one, and Mangle one. Those are some of the best examples of this. And the first picture depicts them looking very well. The Plush Trap is green like he should. The Mangle Rent Repair is gray. And the Molten Freddy is like silver. Although, if you look at the other pictures, the Molten Freddy is light gray and his printing isn't as good. Mangle Vent Repair is actually sand blue like it really is. And the Plush Trap is like this ugly yellow. And I just feel like that false advertising is not good to have for your product. And I feel like they should take that down and replace it with something more honest, even though it doesn't attract as much attention, you know. Especially if you see these at GameStop, if you compare the picture on the box to the actual product, yeah, you can tell it's much different. So, yeah, you can hear some of the stuff going on right now. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you for watching to the end if you managed to make it this far, because this has been probably my longest video yet. Definitely my longest video yet. So, yeah, thank you so much, and as usual, bye.